Good morning, Sarah and Michael. My name's Paris. I will be assisting you with your trademark application. So basically, today's meeting is just us going through some issues that were detailed in your email, just giving you some more information about the process before we start your application. So firstly, the advantages of trademark application. So registering your trademark allows for the legal protection of intellectual property assets of your business. So gaining trademark protection allows exclusive rights to a business, which obviously in turn leads to consumers being able to gain your trust, for you to be able to establish a reputation within the community of your product. So in your sakes, sustainability and the environment landscape. We want to be able to protect that from unauthorized parties being able to benefit from the association of your business. So this will protect your business authenticity and also be able to protect any third parties being able to use your IP to then mislead consumers into purchasing something that they might not think that they are purchasing. So for example, if you had one of your sustainable reusable bags and someone else slapped your logo onto their bag, and then a consumer took it home and realized that the quality just wasn't there, that obviously might bring your brand into disrepute or have impacts on your ability to trade in the future. So in terms of your protections, I would definitely recommend protections for both the company trading name as well as the company logo. This will prevent any other entities being able to use the company logo or the name without legal repercussions, and affords you both the exclusive rights to use both components for as long of a period as you wish, providing that the registration fees are kept up to date, as there's no expiration time for a period in which you can hold a trademark, obviously as long as you're paying your fees. I would recommend that you seek protection for both your products and your services. So your reusable bags, your drink bottles, and your workshops and educational consultations on sustainability. These can be registered under different classes. So Class 18 for the reusable bags, Class 21 for the drink bottles, 25 for the sustainable clothing, and then 41 within the service space for the workshops and sustainability consultations. The likely IP fee, Australia fees that we would be looking at, the fees are dependent on the type of application. So being that you're going through a third party to do the application on your behalf, which is us, you will be looking at a standard application. And standard application is $250 per class. So any class separate class with IP Australia that you register or aim to register a trademark with will incur that fee separately. So IP Australia basically gives you a list of all the classes. We register you into different classes depending on where your products or services lie, and then you receive the trademarks, or you then apply for the trademarks within those classes. So being that there's 4 of them, that obviously brings the application price to $1,000, which will be payable upon lodging of the application form. The process that you should expect from here on out when we're applying for a trademark, the first step would be to establish that you have the right to register the trademark. So this is done through a search of the Trademark Australia Registry, and that will give us some information to determine whether your trademarks are exclusive. Obviously, we don't want to waste any time or money if we do find out that there are some conflicting already registered trademarks. We want to make sure that your marks are exclusive. Once that has been done, I will do that for you on your behalf. I will email through a copy and you guys can take a look at that before we progress through to the application stage. Once that we have established that there's no conflicting trademarks, we will file the application with IP Australia. I just need to let you know now that the application time is a lengthy period. So you're looking at a minimum of 7 months. That's regardless of whether it's a busy time, a quiet time, you are looking at 7 months minimum. So just take note of that. Once the application is filed, IP Australia will then assess the application to ensure it meets legislative requirement. So that process takes 3 to 4 months. It then gives IP Australia just a chance to assess your application, ensure there's no issues. If any issues do arise, you will be given a chance to change that, look it over, and submit it back to them. Obviously, then this does allow a little bit more time within the process. So you've got to remember the 7-month process is providing that there's no other timely issues that we have with the application from start to finish. So the application will then be accepted. Or if it's not, you'll be provided with an adverse report, and this is just a report detailing any issues that have arisen within your application. We will then have the opportunity, if this arises, to overcome any objections that have been detailed to us. Once again, this then adds a little bit of time to that process as well. Once the application is approved, it's then passed on to be advertised to the public, so it is published, and that is a 2-month period that it is published for, which gives the public a chance to oppose the application. If you do get any opposition requests, you are then given the chance once again to change things, do whatever you need to do to get that approved. And if there are no opposing requests with the application, or you're able to overcome any requests with the application, then the trademark will then be registered. The registration is for a period of 10 years. And as previously mentioned, there are no time limits on the time that you can hold the trademark for. It's just, you just need to keep the registration fees up to date, which is every 10 years that you'll need to renew. Our role within this process is to fill in and file the paperwork with IP Australia, but obviously, as I already detailed on, there is quite a bit of research element in before we actually lodge the application. So ensuring that there are no conflicting trademarks, but also making sure that we are registering everything within the right class. So obviously we want to make sure that your business is protected in the way that it needs to be, and ensuring that we get the right classes obviously prevents any issues within the application process, but also allows your brand to be correctly protected. We don't want to go through the process and then, due to an incorrect class being given, then find out that we're not protected under a certain area. For example, everything might be protected, just not your reusable bags, for example. Obviously, we don't want that to happen, and that's why it is crucial for us to be able to get everything correct before the application's lodged. We're also here to assist with any legal questions or advice and communication that might arise, or questions that you might have during the process. Obviously, as previously stated, we will do a search of the registry prior to us proceeding, and that will be emailed to you as soon as possible. In the event that we are unable to successfully obtain a trademark for your IP, you still have statutory provisions under Section 18 of the Australian Consumer Law, and the main protection that you will have is the tort of passing off. So if the tort of passing off is applicable, which given that your business has been registered for so long, it looks at business reputation. So in order to establish the tort of passing off, you need to establish that it needs to be determined that the business, its goods or services have a reputation and it is recognisable to consumers. There need to have been a false or misleading representation, so similar names, similar logos, anything else that establishes your business. and there needs to be a misrepresentation that caused either a loss of trade, damaged reputation, or potential for future harm. So obviously we will get to that if and when it arises. Hopefully we're able to just get the application through so you have the protection of your trademark. If anything else arises, if you have any questions for me, please feel free to get in touch. Otherwise, I will speak to you very soon. Thank you.